Hi, everyone. Welcome to Beat Me Up Book Club. My name is Tiffany. If you didn't figure that out, you are on my channel, Tiff Talks Pages. We are reading we're discussing the last two books of the Horde Kings of Dakar series written by Zoe Draven. I am accompanied by
Ava, Avery, whatever you want to call me. But yeah, we're reading or discussing. We've already read the last two books in the Horde King series.
We're wrapping it up. And this is ambitious, like 2 books a month. I was very happy.
And they're chunky.
They're chunky. Like the last two are like 500 plus pages. So it has been interesting. And I'm excited to discuss. I'm excited to discuss and also reveal our next book.
Yes. Don't worry, we're not doing 2 again.
Yeah, we're not doing 2 again. We're back to 1 book a month. And I'm very excited after having finished these last 2 books for what she has next in terms of the spinoff series. Like I cannot wait. And I was like thinking about ranking the books as well, but we'll get into discussion because we have 2 books this time. And I was pleasantly surprised at our hero from Taken by the Horde King. I love Captor Captive. Okay, so when I heard that they both have a hand in kidnapping each other, I was I was very, very intrigued. And also like the fog. So her wrapping up the series and like all of the mysteries as to what's really going on has been interesting. So this time around, I wanted to know if anybody has any ratings for book 5, which is, I have my banners here. I'm ready, you guys. I was like full-fledged racing to finish for this freaking live show. And I got Taken by the Horde King. I ended up rating this 4 stars. And I enjoyed it more than I thought because I remember you having it as your like kind of second to last in the ranking. So I was like, okay, but the hero really came around for me. And I ended up really like enjoying him. 4 stars for you too. Okay, yes. Fell into a mer people rabbit hole, so I just kind of forgot to be these. You can be a rabbit hole. Oh my gosh, The Noble's Merman by S.S. Genesee got me in that mood. Like the whole swashbuckling readathon, pirate romances, merfolk, it was everything. So I feel you. It is summertime. Get in.
Lana, which one did you read? What did you read? My most recent one was a sapphic novella one. It was fun.
I saw that. I saw that too. I was intrigued because I was like, this is a like historical merfolk. It was so good. It was so good. I'm excited. It was because I haven't seen that before. And also there were logical reasons for like how they could be together and like the magic. Oh, Whispers of the Deep.
My baby's right there.
Girl.
I need to get the special edition for book 2. It's beautiful. I haven't gotten it yet.
And I need to get back into Emma Ham after The Heart of the Fae is just like a favorite.
It's so good.
It's so good. It is so good. So,
I need to read the rest of that series because the first 2 are about that couple, and then the rest of the series are like individual ones that take place in the series, but they're about different characters and different retellings. Like there's a Swan Princess retelling one that I want to read so bad.
Yeah, because I only got through the first 2, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
And I have book number 4, which is Bride of the Sea, and that's a Little Mermaid retelling. Yeah.
I hope he keeps the male narrator for her other books. He did such a good job. Oh,
audiobook! I forgot the audiobook. Yeah, I need to listen to that. I listened to the like sample on her Instagram. Melt worthy, his voice.
I need his name. I need to start tracking my favorite audiobook narrators because they just make it. I'm telling you, like a good audiobook production just elevates it. I think Zoe Draven did a good job with this series. Like the audiobooks are good. I'm trying to think of how many, I think out of the 6, I listened to 4 of the audiobooks and they became even better when we started to get, the male perspectives. So I had a good time.
I listened to all of them on audio, the reread for me. I thought they were really good. I think the female heroines, like the female narrator, is really, really, really good.
Yes, yes. And I am intrigued to see what everybody's thoughts are on Mina as a heroine, because we've talked about throughout this series and with our other like reads for the book club about like fierce heroines, meek heroines, like what we prefer in romance. And I really liked her because I like she had a full arc.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I liked both of the heroines from book 5 and 6 for different reasons.
Yeah.
But Mina was very interesting, and she was just so broken and like battered as a captive. And I thought that this book was really interesting because it kind of reminded me of book 2 when it came to like the ills of humans, like against their own. Like that, it definitely reminded me of book 2, where book 2 seemed to be centered around like survival. Not that it wasn't cruel, but it was very much centered around the restraints placed on their camp because of like the laws, the Dakari laws. And this one was just like human cruelty.
Yeah.
It just was like centered around power and everything like that. So, I mean, and she was willing to do what she needed to do. She was gonna seduce him, and like if she needed to get a Horde king in order to appease the witches, she was gonna do that. But I love how like he thinks that she's a witch because he's so bewitched by her. Like, you must be a witch because why do I want you? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, come on.
In your monologue of like him looking at her and being like so entranced by her, he's like, she's doing it. She has me like, I swear she's giving like putting a spell on me right now. She's like, I'm not doing nothing, dude.
Right? Like, he's like, oh my gosh, like, how dare she wield this power over me? I vow to never go along with what the other Vorakar are doing. I don't know what they're doing over there with their human wives, but I could never. And so, like, this must be voodoo. Like, why do I care about her? I'm like, sir, oh my gosh. But like, just his 360 too, like, when it came to her and his regard for her was just like, top tier. But she was like definitely strong, definitely not too stupid to live, and but also vulnerable. And I liked that about her. Like I thought I was a big fan of this heroine for sure.
Yeah.
They make her break up. Hi y'all, I finally joined the Horde Kings of Dakar. Finished my first one captive, and I've ordered the next 4. Oh my god. So happy for you, because I love. So the first one I absolutely adored, and then I got into book 2 and I'm like, oh, she's doing a thing here. That book 2 is definitely a favorite of mine within the series. And I do think it's a series that you do kind of need to read in order.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because I've had questions of like, can I just jump in and read? And I'm thinking like after 4 is just my favorite. Now I know. I don't think it would serve you to like skip around just because of like all of the Dakari laws, the rituals that we definitely saw in this book, which was interesting because they not only does she have a hand in like kidnapping him, and you kind of know all the while he's going to get out of this, but the fact that he kidnaps her in return and like they kind of come together fairly quickly in this one. So we will have spoilers in this discussion about book 5 and 6, just so we can get down to the nitty-gritty. But I really liked her as a heroine. And then like also, how are we feeling about Rune of Wrath, Rowan?
He's an interesting character, and I love at the beginning of this when he sees her at first, because we read about all these Horde King men that are like, some of them are different, or they're like, I don't need a woman, or blah blah blah, and then some of them are like full blown like, oh my gosh, yeah, no, she's gonna be my queen. He was one of the men that were like, oh, she's mine, like a second into meeting her, and then when he realizes this was all a trick, I feel like it like breaks him inside. And that wall goes up, and so I felt for him because that is a mean trick. So
I know, and like he's like wondering if her kindness, because there's a lot of like caretaking in this,
which
like,
I love.
I loved it. I love the caretaking, like her caring for him while he's in bondage, and also like how she picks up like little seeds that she plants, like when she's feeding him when he's being held captive, captive at Dead Mountain, and he's like, this is only supposed to be, this is like reverence of a wife to her Vakari, not this situation. And I love how that comes like full circle later, where it's like so intimate, like on their wedding night, like the feeding, and she like realizes that, oh, I was doing that before. Like, I love that. So he definitely felt betrayed, definitely wanted to stick it to her, but then also felt like angry that he wanted her. I love that.
Yeah.
I love the eggs. I love it. And also her being like, she felt betrayed too, because it's like she's questioning, did you extend me kindness just because you wanted to get out of like shackles? Like, did you, like, she's kind of embarrassed at that. I give the book 5 stars. I think I gave every book in the series 5 stars. I got to read. Yes. Oh my gosh. So I definitely would recommend her. There are 4 books in the series, and I always call it Craving Kiva, and that's not the name of the series. It's just the name of the first book, but I love that series. If you're looking for
that one. Yeah. I'm reading Desiring His Blood this month.
Oh, yes. I read the first 2 in her I've read a lot of Zoe, actually. I read the first 2 in her Brides of Kylor series.
I think you've read more than me now.
I just need to finish her novella series. And that was our first book of the book club.
I know.
Gotta continue on with that series, and I think I'll be done. I still have her, like, I can't wait for the newest one. Yeah, this one took me by surprise, because I really enjoyed the dynamic between them, and I loved his backstory too. Like, just the meaning behind his name kind of took me out.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it kind of sounds like Ruin. And he goes, yeah. I was like, oh my gosh. I definitely liked seeing the rituals again. Like, I think reading them in order is important, because I was so happy to see the golden nipple ritual again.
That one. You love that one.
It's just so, like, the fact that the Dakar are so comfortable in their own skin, which kind of feels like salacious to like all of the human women. Why are they always in some like tattered raggy dress? Like that kept coming up. Like, she's like,
tattered, see-through.
See-through, it's dirty, it's tattered. Okay, then they get their like glow up, I took a bath moment. I just love it. I love it so much. But I was like, she's dipping the nipples. This is for your husband on your wedding night. And I'm like, oh my God. And it's like edible too. Where can we get this? I don't know. Listen, nipple gold pasties. That's what they are. I'm like, what?
Tiffany, I have like edible gold glitter for cupcakes, and you just need to put water on your hoops and put that on it, and it'll stick.
Halloween? How do I make that appropriate for pictures, though? I could do that.
Oh,
cute. Sorry. Anyway.
Who would you cosplay as if you could?
Well, I want to do book covers. Like, Naomi Lucas has some covers that I want to do.
Yeah.
Definitely would like to be Tiffany, Ruby Dixon.
Yes.
I'm like looking at covers that I want to redo. Except the Naomi Lucas one is a little risque. I mean, she's in that tail in bondage, and I'm like, can I do this outfit? I don't know. I don't know if I can pull that off.
You could.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm very excited. And I haven't read anything. I haven't read anything about like what it's centered around, how it's spin off. Like, I'm just like going in just hopeful, and like I'm ready. But either, it's a re-release. We got to investigate that. We have to investigate that for sure. I just golden nipple ritual. It's awesome. And I loved the feeding each other, and then also like that was very intimate, and her showcasing why it was so intimate and why it's reserved for partners only. I loved. And I also loved the dancing. That was like a new element that I didn't really pick up from previous ones. Of course, the goblet and the dinner and the sort of like eating among the horde, but the dancing I really liked too. So I liked the wedding rituals for sure. And then also the kind of like angst between them, and that she also like spoke up. She didn't want to just be his pet to perform, but the fact that she could like, I like the magical element being carried over in the fact that she was able to control the fog. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
And didn't really understand her own magic. I also like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to go to her Instagram.
Yeah, we need to figure out
I did realize too, like a book of hers in a new series came out in June, and I didn't even notice.
Oh, I need to look at that.
Yeah, it's called.
We need to check that. Because I definitely need to get back. I need to figure out what the craving. I keep calling it Craving Kiva.
It's called the Crave of Everton series, is what you're talking about.
The Crave of Everton. Okay.
But this one came out apparently in June. Wicked Captor.
Is that in one of her? Is it novella length? Because she has a couple novella series.
It doesn't tell me the page number.
Wicked Captor. We got to stay up on Miss Rube.
Mm-hmm.
I almost said Ruby Dixon.
Well, her too, but yes, yeah. Zoe, Ruby, they sound very similar.
And I need to get that I need to pre-order Rubies for October. It's so stunning. It is so stunning. Oh, there's going to be 2 books. Okay, it's 238.
Oh, it's a okay. I get it. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Warrior of Roseanne. You know, I love this quintessential cover. We got to love it.
So the next Horde King book is the Horde King of Shadow. And that's all I can see is like this post.
Ah!
The Horde King of Shadow. She's currently writing it, and she posted this at the end of June.
I can't wait. And I'm like, is it a continuation? Is it a spinoff?
I'm like, is it second gen?
Oh my God. Yeah, because we have the hybrids going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Which was
that's why, like, oh my gosh, I remember, I think in like when we were reading book number 3 in the live show, and she had the twins, and you're talking about like, oh my gosh, the first hybrids. I'm like, they're not the first hybrids.
For 30 years she was being held. Oh my gosh. I can't wait. But
for the last book, she's not the first hybrid.
Right? She recovered it. Oh, I'm happy. Then I need to support. Flipping through that thing as soon as it releases. Okay, I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
I should download that now on my Kindle Unlimited. Ooh! Oh my God. But yes, I did. I loved book 5. And I think for him as a hero, his arc, and I think what really just got me with him was his willingness to, on his knees, apologize to her.
Grovel.
I was like, that grovel, like it was a grovel with like communication, and then he backed it up with action, took back what he threatened her with, and like offered to have a place for her loved ones that were at Dead Mountain among his horde. I was like, okay, sir. And love her even more because she wasn't going to accept that. Was it like she said, like, okay, words are nice, but I need you to like show me, and then will consider opening up to you. And I was like, this is hot. I love communication.
Same. I think they did it really well. At the beginning, they were both very stubborn, obviously, and doing none of that.
Yeah.
None of that. But I think it's honestly because the other person hurt them so bad. Like, because I think the hero, like at the beginning, like I said, was like full on ready, like, oh, this woman's mine. She's mine. And then when she's like, he knows that she's a part of this scheme, he's like, yeah.
No.
Yeah. When he kidnaps her back, the hero was like, hell no, dude. No.
You want me to perform and treat me like a pet? And they're like both angry that they have this like pull and this draw towards each other. It's so good. But yeah, that communication in the 3rd act really got me. And like what she had to do, you know, there's always this like 3rd act action. Her 3rd act action sequences are just so good. And it reminds me of the first novella that we read from her. Like, remember, it was like the auction and like just everything. I was like, this is great. This is such a great like opening. Kind of reminds me of that. Because he just came fully around, like full circle. Like even when he says that he wants to like remarry her, I want it to be your choice. Just some of the things that this like that he says to her, I'm like, okay, Rowan.
He swooned with that.
Yeah, he really like the grovel was one that like took me out, and I really bought that they belonged with each other.
Oh yeah.
Good job. She did a good job with that. I was like, okay, book 5. I was expecting it to be. I do think I might even like it more than the Madness of the Horde King. Now that I think about it, if I was like ranking them in my head, because my number 1 spot's not changing with book 4.
No.
Second favorite is book 2. Like that's a close second.
Mine switched. Mine's book 1. Book 1's probably my second favorite, and then
oh my, yeah, that's my third. That's my third favorite. So if I'm thinking of like fourth, I'm like this one just because of the communication and both of their arcs. I mean, because there's a lot of, this is a darker book. Like the trauma is definitely heavy there.
Yeah.
Part of both of them, especially her. And it's just like, I like that it's at the hands of other humans.
Yeah.
In this book.
My only gripe with this, not gripe, like hesitation on loving this one is what I found with like, there's like a big discussion in the disabled community when it comes to readers specifically, like someone being magically healed from their disability. And that was a point in this book that I was like, how come the stammer went away? Like I didn't love that because I don't feel like that's a reality for a lot of people who do have stammers in their life. They don't just meet one person and then all of a sudden their stammer's gone.
No, that's a very good point.
Yeah.
And it went away with him.
Yeah.
And that was like a, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we have book club discussions, so that we can bring that to the table. Yeah. Because I did think it was odd that in the beginning it was sort of characterized like as her stammer went away when she was just with him, but it did just magically go away.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I can see it like someone being nervous and maybe their stammer coming out. So maybe that was it. Like she was in constant nervous, anxious state, which maybe that was the case. And when she meets the hero, like that doesn't happen. But I don't know. I wish it was discussed a little more, touched on more. There's an Elizabeth Hoyt book that does the same thing in her Maiden Lane series with a character who's speechless. Have you read that series, Tiffany?
I have. I'm trying to think which book.
It's the one when he falls for like the actress who's a single mom who has that cute little dog named Daffodil.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He got beat up in jail and couldn't speak anymore, and then all of a sudden he could.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't like that there at all. I remember that. So I think we could make excuses for it, but it wasn't unpacked because arguably she's being held captive by him. That's just as much as a stressor.
Yes, that is so true. Yeah.
And even like before he's offering everything to her, she's still like in a very perilous situation. So that's a good point.
That's like my main probably like what since the back and forth I feel like happened for too long for my personal taste. I'm not an angsty person, but that and then that part of it was probably why I couldn't give it 5 stars. So
hand wavy faded where her body is like feels safe now, even when not. Again, I didn't read this one yet. Yeah, because it's mentioned. Because she even says it like, oh, I don't know why it went away. And then we just kind of like don't touch on it anymore.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. I'm like, oh, we could have done away with that. And then her friend Tess, I wasn't a fan of her friend.
Girl, she should have just left her, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I was like, you're a fair weather friend. Why are we risking our lives to go back up in here? I'm happy that he extended, a place for anybody who wanted one among his horde from Dead Mountain to kind of revoke the threat that he had on her to keep her there. Like, I will wipe everybody that you love out if you leave. Woo!
Dude. Was like,
yeah. So I'm like, I get that, but I'm like, Tess, like, I don't have time for your arc. I don't have time for your excuses. Like, and she too was like a victim of the trauma and the whole like Lord of Flies situation that they had going on down there. And like, I get that.
Whoa, yeah.
It really was. So it's
Yeah.
like, it makes sense, but it also doesn't. Okay. Because you were willing to like continue to have her be like assaulted and all this kind of stuff to keep her safe. Girl, I was just like, okay, Des.
Every time I hear the name Tess, though, I think of After by Anna.
Ah!
Wasn't that her name? Tess or Tessa? Tess?
I have it here.
I don't have it. So
I have the like graphic. I have the. Do I? Hold on. I have the graphic book.
oh, the graphic. Is there like a graphic novel of it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Behind Soul Eater.
Okay, well, that art style, by the way, is absolutely stunning.
Isn't it? I'm like, let me see. Yeah, Tessa Young. It is. Oh my god, that's so funny. I didn't even think about that, Miss Tessa. Look at girl. Anyway, but yeah, I could have done without Miss Tessa's arc. But yeah, I had a great time with that. I had a great time with it. And again, she did such a good job weaving into the next book because we have no access to the priestesses. We won't be able to access them for the next season. And then we get into the throne of Horde Kings.
Yes.
Throne of the
Can
Horde.
I just say, too, I think it might be fun, maybe, Tiffany, for like, our books now. I just thought of this. I would have texted you before. Maybe we recommend a book or two that is similar to this one that we can think of. And I immediately thought of one for this book. So let me grab it.
Let me see. Oh, the one that I have is a little salacious, though. It's
okay.
BDSM.
Ooh.
And I got that from Diana from the Book Hunt. I read it because of her. Let me see if I can find
it. So my pick, because it kind of has like, sorry, I got a tickle.
Okay.
My pick, because it kind of has the double kidnapping trope, is Phoenix Unbound.
Oh my god, that's so good.
And she also has magical powers and stuff. So I definitely recommend this one. Gosh. Have you read this one, Tiffany?
No, but I think that's a good comparison because it has the fantasy elements, it has the magic.
Yes.
I need to read it.
It's really good. The audiobook is fantastic. I think for me, the audiobooks are on Libby. I actually need to reread this, so maybe you can read it with me because I'm about to reread it in the next like month or two because I started book number 3 and I was so lost.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I gotta start
over. You can jump into. Yes.
So I love book 1 and book 2, but this one really reminded me of this one. You have like the double kidnapping trope. And well, not double. The heroine and hero are both kidnapped themselves at the beginning because he's like a gladiator slave and she's going to be burned at the stake as sacrifice for her village. But no one knows that she can like glamour herself as other people. And she also has fire magic. And so while she's burning at the stake, she can slip out through the floorboards basically and run away. And the hero makes her basically help him escape. But then he kidnaps her. He actually comes from I don't spoil a lot. I'm just going to say he comes from like this neighboring land where he is the ruler and someone betrayed him and sold him as a gladiator slave. So he's like, she has magic. Let me kidnap her and she's going to help me put myself back on the throne. So she's fighting him tooth and nail while they're traveling to his
oh my god, I love that. Okay, yeah, we have to buddy read that. We have to.
So that one's similar to this one. Do you have a similar one?
I do. It's not but it is called The Escape Artist by Kitty Thomas. This is a little bit on the darker side, kind of like this book. There's a lot of trauma. It also has the what do we call it? The double captive situation. Where it's also a BDSM, lightly mafia-esque, where she basically kidnaps this man, thinking that he's the one responsible for holding her captive for 43 days. She's kidnapped and she escapes and ends up kidnapping the man she thinks is responsible. And the entire time he's for revenge. And the entire time he's trying to convince her that he is not the one that she's looking for. And it's their romance.
Wow. That sounds good. Is that on KU?
I don't know. Let me see.
How did you find that one out?
Diana from Diana in the book.
Oh, you said that.
She was doing like a wrap up, and I'm like, this sounds like really good. So I picked that up. There's also another mafia one that I need to find. It's MM. It's a mafia romance between Mafia Don and his enemy, who is an enforcer who actually killed his wife. And so he kidnaps him. That's very dark as well. He kidnaps him and holds him captive, and it's their romance. And the tables do turn, where he's held captive in return as well. But I need to find
that one too. You gotta text me that.
Yeah, I need to text you that one.
MM Mafia. I totally am down. Oh, we need a Sapphic Mafia.
Thank you.
We need a Sapphic Mafia. I have yet to hear of a Sapphic Mafia. Let me Google.
We need a Sapphic Mafia. We need like Arena, like a JT Geisinger Reina, because I loved that from Brutal Vows. Reina from Brutal Vows. We need someone like her, and we need a Sapphic Mafia. That would be hot, because a lot of the MM Mafia that I've read, what was it? Eden Finley and Brooke Blaine, they have Mafia's Captive. That's like a novella series, 3 books. Loved that. Where he's basically he's really in line. There's a doctor. He's living a normal life. It's contemporary. He has no idea of what his lineage is because he was adopted, and he ends up getting kidnapped by this mafia boss, because he's actually like the normal guy that's a doctor is set to inherit, like he's next in line to inherit, but he doesn't even know it. And it's their romance. That was interesting. And I do like some of it's kind of like some daddy little play. Mad Love by, what is her name? That's like kind of a kinky. I always get into like the kinky series for MM Mafia stuff, because Eden Finley and Brooke Blaine's actually goes there as well with the kink.
The only thing that I was able to find on Reddit is
I know.
Goodness.
Me too. I need to read.
Sorry, give me a second.
You're okay. You are okay. Oh, I like that chair. Listen to me. I'm like, oh, the decor.
Okay. The only thing I was able to find is this one. It's called She's With Me by S. Reina and BL Mute.
Okay, we gotta try this out, because I've read MMF Mafia, like Eden Finley has like another like captive series that's like MMF. There's another MMF that's like best friends to like lovers situation, but I haven't read like FFM. You know what I'm saying? Or like Sapphic when it comes to Mafia at all. So I would love that. I need to read more.
Speaking of FFM though, that's going to be the next book in the series that we're going to start. I know.
We need to read what our August pick is. I have it already. Yeah, see, I have R-rated Rex for the captive, and they're all dark, because that's really what I like. So I don't know if that would be. I would love some more for like with like a fantasy element, but mine are all like heady power dynamics.
Like, everyone has different like things. Yeah, someone might not find this interesting, like at all.
I do. I can't wait to read that. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, I'm gonna give you the riggers, the Shibari.
Love that. Love
that.
Beautiful. I was on a dating app yesterday, and on the description, this dude said like he like listed all his things. One of them was Shibari Master, and I just about.
Is it? How old is he? Because that takes like nearly a decade to master.
Like 30. I don't know. I swipe right. He was not good looking, so
be careful, Ava. Because that's a flex. He put it on there because it's a flex. in like clubs. I mean, I wouldn't know this, but supposedly, you know, it is a flex to be a shibari master because it takes lots of years of practice and actual rigging to oh, I read Tesoro. I read his Tesoro.
Me too.
And so yeah, so you know how he knows like he has to research just different like ties and holds because it's very dangerous. I cannot believe he put that on his profile on a normal thing.
Yeah. And oh my gosh, do you know how many people like profiles I see too? I was talking to my friend about this of like men who create profiles with their girlfriends looking for a third in a relationship.
I get that all the time at work, and I'm like, I'm just trying to seat you guys.
Yeah,
We seat you.
I
don't know.
I have to laugh so hard. I have to laugh so hard because when you swipe left, and if they liked you, it'll like say in the corner, "Oh, you missed a potential match" or whatever. I'm like, good. I don't want to match with them. I'm sorry, it's not my speed.
I feel you. I'm getting that in real life, and I'm just like, I don't have the communication at this point in my life to I'm very flattered, but no, that's
yeah. No, I couldn't imagine actually someone coming up to me in real life.
I love that you think I'm a unicorn, but no, that's just too much. It's too much angst in real life. I like it on the page.
So we have
the Realm of the Horde King. Now, I've got to say, I did rate this book 3 stars, but I'm going to tell you why. Because it was hard because I really believe that Kara as a heroine is probably one of my favorite heroines in this series.
She's really good.
And she kind of made the book for me. And just finally getting to this book and learning about how she's a hybrid, how she's been held. These are spoilers for anybody who's still reading, but like how she's been kind of like kept safe and sequestered, also very sheltered. But I think that she was a very interesting heroine because she was innocent, but she was also very knowledgeable because she was a reader. She wasn't innocent completely when it came to like sex because she did have that own experience with herself. And also I loved how forward she was with her questioning and how quick she was to like check him too. She had like some bite to her. She was innocent with knowledge and bite, and I loved her. And she was inquisitive. I'm like, this girl, like I follow her.
The scene where like she tells him like, wait, but if you see me, you don't want to have sex with me. Like I can change in front of you. He's like, what?
Yeah, if I change in front of you, you're gonna see my cookie, and I know that once men see the cookie, that they're gonna want it. So
have sex if you see it. Like,
and then when he was like, that's not how it works. I love how she's so forward. It kind of reminded me of like book 2, where it's like, well, why wouldn't you do you want to have sex with me? Are you attracted to me? Why aren't you attracted to me? Seduction, how does that work? Unpack that. Like she's very innocent when it comes to social interactions because she's never been around men. Like she's never like, she saw him in her dreams before meeting him and has never like interacted with men. But I love how she's like willing to ask. And so like, it's not uncomfortable for her because she doesn't know that that's too forward. And I love it. I love it. And she checks him too. Like she's like, I'm sitting here trying to help you and you're like criticizing me.
I love her.
Right?
Honestly, I could read this book. I love, like, one of the things I've always said is, like, I need to read a book that has some inkling of romance in it or I'm going to be so freaking bored. For this one, I literally could have done without him. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. I didn't really care for him. I didn't know what, like, his angle was because at first it's like, you need her. He's, like, arguing about wanting to take her with him. Like, if you really want to accomplish this for your people, you're going to take her with him. You don't know anything about the Heartstones. Why are you going back and forth with her? I don't care that you don't trust people. So I was like really into it. There seemed to be, I don't know, it was like a little after the halfway mark. I felt like the book just went in a completely different direction. And I'm like, what's going on here? I felt the pages where coming out of book 5, I did not feel like I was reading something that was over 500 pages. In the last book, I definitely felt it. And I was just kind of questioning where we were going with this because I love road trip. I love road trip. And so I loved this whole thing where he's like basically taking her along with him reluctantly, and how she's finally getting out of her gilded cage, and she feels like this is going to be her last hurrah. Like she finally gets to live and see things, but she's definitely trying to soak it up because she thinks that she's going to be going back. Like they're basically nuns. I mean, if she doesn't lay down with him, she's able to go back. And so I just loved her, how inquisitive she was, and like the goal that we were going on to like basically get all of the Heartstones and defeat the fog. Loved that. But like that mission, if you will, just kind of like veered off. And I don't even think like he knew. I was never sold on him as a hero. He didn't want to take her along. He kind of jested at her for being innocent, but was endeared by it, but then made her feel bad about it. And then like never really trusted her. His choice to like send her away really pissed me off.
Oh yeah.
It's just like, he never like, I don't think he ever really saw her.
Mm-mm.
And I'm like, how could you not? Everything that she was contributing. And I did like the apology in the end. I mean, I love gifts. Okay. Like we're bringing in like the wedding chests and everything that he.
You love the wedding chest. I love it too.
I think like thoughtful gifts. Okay, fine.
I know what I'm gonna do, Tiffany. When you get a man's, I'm gonna tell him that's what you need. You know, chest.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that'd be such a good.
Yeah.
I think for me, my trope, if I meet somebody, is probably gonna be like, I wouldn't say friends to lovers, because I'd have to have a male friend right now where that'd be possible. But I'd have to be tricked. Like it'd have to be somebody that I would have my guard down with, to where I'm comfortable enough to like be me, because I have my walls up.
Yeah.
You know? And then like I'd have to be tricked and be like, oh yeah, I guess I do like that.
Oh my gosh. There was like, I'm trying to go out into the world and like I'm trying to go out into the world, right? And like not try to just focus on the dating apps only, right? Because ideally I want to meet someone in person. It's like I went to Barnes and Noble today. Like I saw a man in a section and I literally just like stood in the section, fake looking at books, hoping that this man would see me because we were the only two people in this section, but nope.
You put yourself out there. It's like so inspiring. I'm not on these apps. Like my friend was gonna do a Hinge profile for me, and I'm like, I don't know what pictures to put on here. And then they ask so many dang questions. I'm like, I don't know.
Hinge only does you only have to do like 3 questions. They do have to know, like, you don't have to put everything on there.
So many. I'm like, I don't want to answer.
I'm like, is it for you? Yeah, you can have a friend do it for you.
I don't know. I'd like, at least you're putting yourself out there. I like have this, or have to have the veneer, because I'm a little, like, quite frankly, weird. And so like at work I'm very like professional and like it takes a moment. And so I'm like, work isn't really like the place. I guess I'm like, I go out and stuff.
But I don't know, when those 2 people, 1/3, they see you.
Oh, I know. It's always guests that are like, do you swing? And then they name the same places. Have you gone to this place or that place? And I'm like, I know of it. And no, I don't go, but thank you. I'm flattered. Here are your seats. You know?
I love that for you.
I can't. I'm like, but I'm definitely not like trying. I just don't know if I want to. Like dating apps intimidated me a little bit.
Dude, they're scary. Men are weird and gross. And I've debated deleting it again.
No. You're getting good success. Okay. We're doing this. You're inspiring me to be open to even maybe doing that. I'm just like,
I matched with someone. I'm like, okay, you seem nice. And then we hadn't even gone on a date. And someone will message me, hey, do you want to come to my pool tonight? Like, the fuck?
No. You know how you scare them off in this like dating agent world, because like everyone's it's just so difficult. Say like, oh sure, do you have $100 for gas? He'll stop bothering you. They'll leave you alone.
I love that.
Yeah, it's like, it's rough out here. And I think it is very hard too, because I have like, you know, I've got brothers and I have like my male friends. It's hard for like men to approach women in person too.
Yeah.
They just don't know. Like even like really good guys, like they just don't know what's appropriate. Like, you know, are you gonna like, they just, it's difficult times.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Don't I know it? Don't I know it, girl?
like, I just
okay. We got off track.
Sorry.
We always do. It's fine.
I forget I'm on live sometimes when I'm like,
mm-hmm.
not a good thing, but
all I have honestly left to say is like I liked somewhat the conclusion to this. I talked to Tiffany before we went live about how like I like how Zoe Draven, sorry, my throat is just not having it today. My throat. I love how Zoe Draven incorporated like some of the other couples into this finale, which I loved. But I hate how my top 3 couples weren't even in this book. Like,
oh,
my top 3 weren't even in here. That's book 4, book 1, and book 2. Like, they weren't in here. So that made me a little sad. So like, I'm like, I wanted all or nothing kind of. I felt like with that.
And I felt like there was so much going on, but it was slow too. And so I got excited too. I was like, oh, the couples is it the couples? Are they all here? No. So that was kind of a lot. And then also we were talking before this too. It does kind of like Ava mentioned that maybe Zoe Draven didn't know how she was really gonna, like, basically the fog doesn't come up until book 3.
Mm-hmm.
And so kind of the culmination in this book was interesting because if, the overall goddess had a hand in picking these marriages, I was thinking, and like picking these like human women to be the queens of these Horde kings, yet only two of them really had a hand in like clearing up the fog. I thought that was interesting.
There are 3 of them.
3, yeah, plus our hybrid.
Yes.
So it's interesting. So I'm like, okay, maybe the development of like how all of this is coming together and how this is gonna work didn't really come later until after that. Like I definitely see your point in that.
Yeah.
We wanted a reunion with everybody.
Yeah.
I was getting excited. I'm like, okay, at least we'll get there, because he just really wasn't doing it for me. I wasn't understanding his actions. And some of the stuff was just out of like his character. It felt like because when he apologizes to her, it felt like he sent her away because he felt like she was going to meddle because of like her alliance and like how she could disrupt what he was doing. So ultimately he sent her away because he felt like she was going to betray him.
Yeah.
It's not because he wanted to protect her and keep her safe. So like his apology just kind of felt like, I mean, I love the gifts. They're very thoughtful. And so like I was able to like take it at that point, and the fact that like she was healing for so long and he waited, and it was not, he put her first, wanting to speak to her first over his Horde and everything like that. Like it came around. But I was like questioning him a lot of the way. Have you ever tried giving away coupons in person to public? Oh, if a man approaches a woman as anything like that, I'm surprised anyone is in a relationship. Yes. Right? No, it's so difficult. It's so difficult.
Because I steer clear of those people.
Yeah, and so sometimes I make eye contact because I feel bad for them, and I'm like, how many? And then I get roped into the exchange, and I'm like, I need to stop doing this. Yeah, I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna stop and talk to you, but then also I'm not contributing to whatever you're doing, so it's kinder for me to just keep walking.
Yeah. When you go to the mall and like the kiosk people, that's like one of my biggest fears is the kiosk people in the center of the mall. Like, do you want a sample? No, I just want to walk in the mall, please.
I just keep going.
Yeah.
Or I'll do the up down, but yeah, it's just,
oh my gosh. And then also when like you're today I went to a farmer's market and I went by a booth who like they had gluten-free stuff there, which was so nice, but it was way too expensive than what I wanted. And so like I just said like, I'll come back later with my mom. Let me go find her. My mom isn't here. I just felt bad.
So awkward. And like human interactions, I keep thinking, you know what, I'll just stumble across somebody when I'm supposed to, because I'm not looking. But I'm like, should I be? I don't know.
I'm being so impatient.
I should maybe try. I don't know.
No, I'm too impatient. I'm being too impatient. I like your method. I'm lonely.
But at least you're being proactive. Like I'm not doing anything.
And that's not good either. You're at least like going out and doing things. Like,
yeah.
The reason why I have the apps is because I don't do anything. I don't leave my house.
You've been doing You've been doing pretty good. Yeah, I have to. Like, it gets me out of the house. I need to start vlogging more because that's when I first started my channel. It was like when I was new in town and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna be. It was a month of me just going to work and coming back home and seeing the same spaces all the time. And I'm like, this isn't really great for my mental health. So, and then I was also saving. So I told myself at least twice a month, which was kind of a lot, I was going to go out to one of the new places in Vegas and try them out, whether it was like a restaurant or a museum or something. And like I told myself, that's what we're going to do. So I still do that. Like I make sure I go try something. And then I would be vlogging it. And I realized when I started vlogging, I was like, oh, I don't really feel like I'm by myself if I'm like vlogging it and like turning it into a reading vlog. And then like this last month, oh my gosh, I haven't really like made anything since the swashbuckling, or I might show that footage. I did attempt to do the mid-year freak out, but I got distracted and just created a little mini album instead and wasted.
I want to see that.
I think I have it here. It's ridiculous. But yeah. I created 2 bangers, but like no one's gonna see that. I've tried living my once you stop looking, it'll happen. But whoever it is hella late. That's what I'm saying.
Girl, I'm never gonna be that person who stops looking. That is never me. That's never going to be me. I will always be looking. Like
yeah, I'm open. Took me years to like I wasn't open. I think reading romance kind of helped. Like from like 2017 when I went to college, I just was not. I'm like, I'm getting it from my books. I'm good out here. Very like closed off. And then I think like a couple years ago, I was finding like, okay, like I'm open to meeting somebody. Now maybe, I don't know, maybe I should be proactive about it.
Yeah, I got a little taste of what something could be like last year, and now I'm like, like I want it. You get the little taste. Someone gives you a little taste of what something could be like, and then you're like, I want it. I want it.
Yeah, because it was by my 35th birthday this year. I talked to Philippe as my reality age gap thing experience. And well, I can share that story another time when it's not book club, but I've had my own little like age gap thing. And I called him and I was like, I'm still younger than you were when we were together. What were you doing, sir? You know what I mean? Like I'm like, what was up with that? And he was like, you've always been ahead of your time, all this like crap. And I'm like, I just like
your accent.
Yeah, like he, you know, like trying to justify.
Maybe it's just like older men who love you, Tiffany, because didn't. I know Wander's not a thing, but I'm saying like your like banter with that man, I freaking love it.
I love Wander, and Wander needs security. If we need a crowd fund for security,
he was fully there to like give you his address.
Yeah, I was like, dude, Wander, he needs to have like security at these book signings. And I love like his PA is so great. I love Wander. The photographer who is like responsible for a lot of our cover list.
Yes.
He is so great and he needs security because I just want to see him be safe. I just want that silver fox of a man to be safe out here at these book signings that are just coming more and more popular and more busy. He needs security, okay? Because he's so sweet and he's so kind and like generous and like with his time. And I'm like, dude, some of us are a little, you know, you protect yourself.
Yeah, we're going to his book signing in September.
Oh, you are? I wish I was going to Wanderlust again. That was my first signing.
Girl, you can come visit me, stay in my place with me. We can go drive up because I'm within like an hour drive of there. So I'm just going to drive up and drive back.
And it's September too.
Is it sold out though?
I don't know. I feel like if you're out there and you want a ticket to something, like I know there's the big ones like a Polycon sold out really, really fast. And there's the ones that are really popular. But I have definitely found if you put the feelers out there, you can get a resale ticket. People, I thought that like when you're upset about not getting a ticket, it's really hard to hear because it feels like people are just saying, nah, I'm just be honest. To me, sometimes when I don't have a ticket to what I want to go to, it feels like people are just telling me this. It feels like they're just saying it to like calm me down. But I have found 2 times over that you can get a resale ticket.
Oh yeah.
People resell their tickets and like the Facebook groups and people just knowing that you're looking for one, like you can get a resale ticket. So if it is sold out, I'm pretty sure we can get one. Because sometimes it just feels like people are just trying to make you feel better. And I'm like, I wanted to go.
Yeah, we'll have to talk because I think Kate is moving. And so I don't know if she'll be here and she has a ticket.
See,
Because she's moving, but I don't know if she's coming back for that. I wouldn't think so. So we'll see. We'll see.
yeah, I might have to ask her. Yeah, reading. Well, see, yeah, reading in public, I make faces. Okay?
Expressive.
I'm very expressive. And so I think, like, even if I'm reading, remember when I used to, in my reading vlogs, like, I was actually reading in my B-roll, and Ava was like, just take a couple seconds of that and cut it. Like, I would film myself actually reading for like an hour and waste my SD card. Like, I was doing a lot in the very beginning. So like I have footage of, I'm very expressive, so I know this because I edit myself. But yeah, especially at work, I'm kind of in the zone. I have my gym face at work. I have my big headphones and I'm listening. I'm constantly listening to an audiobook and I'm not approachable. Like, you can tell I'm in the thick of a story.
Yeah.
And then, I've started doing that in the grocery store. It stopped me from talking to strangers.
I bet you could be in a grocery store for like 3 hours.
Oh, I could. But I'm telling you, the moms in the candle section, they know what it is. They know the deals. They know everything. So when I was in New York, I was not like this. I learned very quickly to like leave people alone. And I too wanted to be left alone. I've had a coworker ask me if anything was okay because I look so mad. Yes, the hero is just being stupid. Yes. Oh my God.
Oh my word.
No, for real. And then I feel like work has the audacity to interrupt my book. It's hard. I'm like, really? Okay. Like, I feel like audiobooks do make me a better, like, a productive member of society. Like, I've said this. I'm willing to wait in the line a little bit longer. I'm a lot more patient because I'm listening to my book. The road rage has dissipated because I'm listening to my book.
Yeah.
Here, if I'm getting pulled over, I learned. But like, it makes me a better member of society. Yet it depends on what's going on with the book. So I have to curate them.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Oh.
Steam in the grocery store is just awkward. So especially when like you're in Target or like Walmart, and here they have everything locked up. So when I was listening to this Steam for book 5 while waiting for them to like unlock my deodorant, it was a little awkward, but it's fine. I can keep a straight face if I'm around people.
Oh, dude, I like literally could be in the raunchiest sex scene ever. My face is completely blank.
I was reading Credence at the airport, and I was like,
love that.
Yeah.
I still need to read that one.
Yes. When a certain character was revealed, I was like, I was acting a fool. I was like, it's the airport. Nobody cares. But
there's weirder things happening in the airport.
Yeah. Like, nobody cares. Like, no one is paying attention. That's what I've learned. Everyone's thinking about themselves. No one's paying attention. Nobody cares. But yeah, I too felt like the last book, not like, yeah, it was kind of anticlimactic. Like, it just felt slower, and it took me more time.
Yeah.
It took me more time to like get into in relation to the other books. And it was my least favorite pairing, one of my favorite heroines.
Yeah, I agree with you completely 100%. So what's your ranking? Let's do a ranking as our last thing. What would your ranking be?
So I would definitely rank, okay, so book 4, Broken by the Horde King, is my favorite. That's an all-time favorite. Friends to Lovers, period. It's my favorite within the series. Then I would say book 2 is my second favorite within the series. And book 1 is my third favorite. I would say my fourth favorite would be book 5, now that we've discussed it. Fifth favorite is Madness. That's the third book, Madness of the Horde King. And then my last would be the last of the series.
Yeah, mine is very similar to you. I probably switched some. So number 1 is the same, book 4, because that is perfection. Amazing. I told you it was like one of my favorite books of all time for a reason.
Yeah.
Then I would probably put book number 1 just because I love that book a lot. I also love book 2, so that'd be a third spot. And I think book 3 would be next, and then book 5, and then book 6.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. Have you seen the artwork for book 3 on Zoe Draven's page? Let me just pull it up here. Let me just go ahead and pull that up here.
Oh, I sent it to you.
Oh yeah, right. Yes, you did. You did. I was like, dude, this is so freaking hot.
It's so good. I didn't realize their tails were that long, by the way. I'm like, whoa.
And can we like book 6? She has a tail too. I was like, this is freaking awesome. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm like hitting the comment section, but madness.
It's so good. It's so good.
I'm like, how do I do this? It's so good. I love how, look at that tail. Look at his tail.
So long.
I love how she got the tattoos, how the artist got the tattoo swirls. And also that the cuffs were a big deal in the last book.
Yeah.
God, this is so good.
His dad can suck it though. I'm glad he got killed the way he did.
I know. We knew that was coming. You know, so it's like we knew that was coming.
I didn't expect for her to be the one that killed him though, honestly. And it really did devastate me in how hard she took it. She's like, yeah, he was an awful human being, but I still killed somebody. Like she really took that hard.
She was far wiser than her counterpart in this book. From the very beginning, I knew it because I loved how it was just a feminine moment, in my opinion. I have not been hit with the dart of love yet. So in my opinion, I just read it as a very feminine moment in the very beginning when she's trying to convince him to take her along on this road trip. And like, he's so resistant to it. And she thinks about, she's like, this is the man that I've been dreaming of, yet he doesn't really stack up. And like, and she's disappointed in him just thinking so small and kind of like being cruel. And I forget the quote that she says to him, but like, he can't imagine why she's still helping him even after he says he's not going to take her. And like when she says like when basically she tells him to his face, like, you don't stack up and like, I don't need anything. I'm not negotiating. Like, this isn't about me getting something. I'm just doing it because it's right. And the fact that you don't understand that is just, it's sad, cruel. And he's kind of like taken aback by that. I love that about her. I knew from that moment that she was going to be far more than he was going to be, just by how he was handling the situation from the beginning. So loved Kara, loved Kara, and her relationship with her priestess. So
love her.
Oh, I know.
Do you have a similar recommendation?
Okay, Throne of the Horde King.
Mine is very vague, but kind. I have think of something that even has like a small link.
Well, while I was reading this, I did want to reread Sword Heart by T. Kingfisher.
I need to read that one.
I wanted to reread Sword Heart because of the road trip aspect. Also, they have a conversation about history. So what she's learned from her books and what he's learned from just his life experience and him gearing up for this coup. I loved how in that book, it's a road trip romance. I liked the comedy. In T. Kingfisher's comedy is just like really good. Although in Swordfish, like she is a mature heroine. And so I like that about it. But I do like the road trip journey that they go on and how we get into like the history of like the realm and the land and everything like that. And it made me miss it. Like this road trip, the lull in this book made me miss that. So Swordfish. Sword Heart by T. Kingfisher. I kept thinking about that. So I would go there.
Okay. I need to read that one because Riley loves that one too. Let me find the one that I have. Okay. Just me hanging out in my nightshirt, everybody. I exposed myself.
You didn't see it.
I would do The Midwinter Mail Order Bride by Katie Wilde. Have you read this one?
Yes.
Yeah. This one also has a road trip aspect, but the hero is amazing in this one. Aryan King guy, and the heroine is sent to be his wife, but she plans on secretly killing him when they get married so that she can just be the queen of his people. But she gets drugged or drunk on the way there, and she kind of like spills her guts when she meets him, like, hey, I'm just marrying you to kill you. He's like, what? And so he basically puts her back in the carriage and takes her back to her people, and they actually end up falling in love along the way. So another like road trip one, and this one does have like royalty in it also. So
I love that. I also like the half orcs maiden bride too a little bit, because the heroine is she's sheltered in that book. Like her father.
I agree with you.
But I think
yes, the book Bonanza edition.
Yeah, this is the special edition one. But I did really like this, and it's novella length, because she's unlike the priestesses. She's not treated very well by her father. She's always wanted to have a family, but because of the way that she looks, she's a larger woman. She's tall, and she's larger in stature and build. And that's considered unconventionally attractive in their world. And she's not treated very well by her father. And so he sells her in order to like survive and to pay off their debts to this half orc. And he ends up being incredibly just like sweet, you know? And I love the like wedding rituals in this, which I don't feel like we got, there's certain things. There's just a little bit of a road trip, but not much. Like she's got to kind of travel to get to him. But I really liked this one too.
Yeah. You know who, now that you talked about her, have you been watching the Olympics?
I've been Olympic.
Yes. Okay, so you know Alona Mar?
Oh, I love Alona Mar.
That's who I picture now, the stature, like what she, like Alona Mar.
Which makes it even all the more ridiculous because, I love how Alona Mar has just brought and put a spotlight on just like the different body types that are at the Olympics. And she notes that like everyone's like, doesn't say anything about like your fitness level or what you can do, and to just celebrate the different body types and what they can do. I love that.
I love her so much. And then she reads romance books too.
You can tell.
TikToks.
The Olympic Villa. I love her.
They're so good.
I love her.
But yeah, does anyone have any other thoughts on these books? What did y'all rate the last one? Did we ask that?
Yeah, because I feel like validated with my ratings here, because I rated it 3. I saw another 3 in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
What card can read? I need to like binge some videos. So yeah, got a 3. It did kind of feel like that. And it was kind of the one book where I felt the pages. I don't think I felt like that at any other point in the series. So I'm very happy though that I finally read this series. Like it's so good. It's so good.
It's so good. And so, yeah, I'm so happy that, because I kept telling you, like, you're going to love these books. You're going to love them, and you do. So I'm so happy.
I know, and it took me so long. So I'm so happy that there was, like, a lot of interest in us doing, yes, this is the last in the series. And we have lives for all of them. We read 2 a month, try to do reading sprints and, like, a live show each month. And now we're going to be going back to doing, like, a book a month.
Yes.
And, we definitely have our August pick because there's 5 weeks in August. So our next live show will be on the 30th of this month. It's going to be on Ava's channel. And, oh, yeah. I'm curious, what's the first Ilias romance you remember reading? Ooh. I don't remember.
Mine was Lauren's Barbarian by Ruby Dixon. No. I don't think it was. It was Riley had this really good friend, because I was like a Riley stan. Riley had this friend. She's probably still friends with her. I don't think she makes videos anymore. Her name's Lainey. She had red hair, and I followed her and watched her videos all the time. And she kept recommending this one on Audible Escape, and I listened to it, and I can't remember what the title is.
I have Audible Escape days, and I can't remember. Mine had a paranormal edge to it, and it was like a portal fantasy. And he was an alien, and he came out of the mirror. Yeah, I can't remember what the title was. And this was around this is around the time that I actually listened to Twilight, because I listened to Twilight later. I listened to Twilight after the audiobook came out. I want to say 1 or 2 years after the movie came out. And that's like when I started listen, and I think I listened to that on Audible Escape too.
Mm-hmm.
The movie came out, and then like a couple years later, the audiobook came out, and I was like late on everything. I started listening, like reading it after the films come out. I think after the second movie came out, I listened to Twilight, and then that's around the time, but I can't remember what the title is. Just like I cannot remember the title of the first romance book.
Oh, yeah, I have no idea.
I just know that it was. Why am I blanking right now?
That's okay. I know nothing about mine. Like,
I can't remember. I know like one of them was Zane because I read Addicted, and then I started going off on a tangent. But my first romance book was in what used to be called Thrifties. Now it's Rite Aid. Like the Thrifties in my town changed into Rite Aid, but they had like books and magazines and stuff. And
we don't have Rite Aid.
Yeah. Yeah, I still can't remember the title of the first romance. I just knew I knew about it because of Now and Then, like the movie Now and Then with like everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I do think Roswell was the spark for it though.
Yeah, for me too. And then also, remember like Superman was out too, and that had like a sci-fi edge because the Superman the show, it was Roswell and then Superman on the W. I
didn't watch those like when they were coming out because I literally think those came out when I was like an infant. I watched those like on streaming services later on. But
Roswell was like,
yeah, no, I think I watched Roswell in high school on some streaming platform or something. Or it was on something on cable, like on the show that runs reruns or whatever. So
Planet X by Evangeline. I love Evangeline. Here was basically Riddick from Pitch Black, but Toxic Desire. Oh, I love that.
Desire. I love that one. I need to finish that
bangers to start out with.
Mm-hmm.
IPV. Yes.
The first one I remember reading is Lawrence Barbarian, and I remember being so lost because that's a spinoff. And I'm like, who the heck is this blonde chick like telling everyone what to do? I'm like, it's Liz. like what the fuck? Yeah, so don't read Lawrence Barbarian first. Don't.
I need to get back on it because you've been on the Ruby grind, and that's what
I'm behind. I think her 5 latest books I haven't read yet.
We can binge though. That's typically what I do. This will be the month for it.
I need to read the book 2 and book 3 in the Clones series. And then Bull Moon Rising isn't out yet.
No. But I need to pre-order that. That's October.
I'm hoping I get I want the PR box so bad.
I hope you get it. You should get it.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I don't know if she has any say in that. And then I have to read When She's Common. That was her serial on Facebook, but now it's a book. She does that. So I haven't read that one. And then Only for the Clonely. I haven't read that one either. So maybe 4 books.
But you should be able to get through those because some of them aren't super.
I don't know the Ice Planet Clones books. Like I want to wait for them to be on audio. Like I want to read them, but I also want to listen to them, and they take like a whole year to come out on audio.
I know.
So because I love her audio so much.
And they're so good. It's the best experience, like listening and reading at the same time. It's my favorite.
It's so funny. I can't remember his name, but the guy who narrates like the male POV in a lot of her books, like especially IPB, I think I was listening to a contemporary romance or something, and I'm like, why is this man's voice so what is this? And I'm like, oh my gosh, she usually is like Vectol, like talks like Vectol. So I'm like, is this
book? What contemporary book? Oh my God, stop.
I need to figure this out. Let me look. I think
I think Surviving Scars audio came out in November. Yeah.
But
wait, was it?
It's not on my Libby. I don't think.
That's the thing. So yeah, you gotta wait for the audios. And then if you wanted to hit Hoopla, it takes a little bit longer. But they do. But it does take longer to hit my library system too.
Let me look.
I made myself physically read them just so I could get to Tia's book. Oh, which just came out.
Oh, that was Tia's book? Oh my gosh. I was not excited for her book, but I am now. Because I was not a Tia fan.
I need to catch up. Have you read Bound to the Shadow Prince by Ruby Dixon?
Oh my gosh, I haven't read that one either. I have that. I got like a signed version. I need that. I need to read.
But see, I'm being called out. I have to start with the first of the series.
Well, Bound to the Shadow Prince isn't really connected to anything, though.
But isn't like Bound to, this is the one that I have coming, because it was
if you're talking about like her fantasy series, her Chonky Monkey one.
Yeah.
Bound to the Battle God.
Yeah.
Maybe that, I think it's in the same series, but so is Half Orc. So is the Kingsman's
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like those two novellas like are in the same world, but they have nothing to do. So that's what I'm thinking this one is, because originally Bound to the Shadow Prince was on that app Wander.
Yes.
And so like I'm assuming that since it was on that app by itself, like you don't need to read the other books because none of the other books was on the app.
Okay, because that's why I was like, I ordered, because I wanted a physical copy because I wanted to read and listen.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you know how it could get very expensive with Miss Ruby. Those are like,
that's why I have to wait for Libby. Like I do. That's why I'm like,
her Aspect and Anchor series. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna start this.
I just read Debbie's book. It was so good.
Oh, I think you're right. Okay.
No, my Libby just got When She's Fearless though, so maybe I'll get Surviving Scar soon.
So pretty. That whole series. Those covers are stunning.
Mm-hmm.
The entire series.
Let me see. Who is this narrator? Mason Lloyd is his name. What did you narrate, Mason Lloyd, that I read?
Giving me a Halloween cover. It's so pretty.
Okay, he's narrating.
They're all stunning. They're all so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
She's giving us the clinch.
And the step backs on the back of all of them. Love it.
And like I knew from the very first one that she was going to be.
It was torn by Kieran Cole. I knew it was a contemporary. He narrates that.
No.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I freaking love that.
That's hilarious.
I'm scrolling through like all the audiobooks he's narrated. It's all of it's IPB, and then you can skip more.
I love that. I like the tied in toward duet.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love that duet. I need to read her fan. Yes, me too. Live in the same universe. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, no, a lot of them like are cross whatever. Not IPB.
Not yet.
No, there is, because there's a scene, there's like a part where like, I don't know if it's in Ice Home or something else, where like a new wave of women come and they realize that they can't go back to Earth because they don't have the resources to, but they also can't go back to Earth because it's been taken over by alien dragons.
Oh, and that's why we're at Rizda. Yeah, they are all connected.
Yes, they are.
That's why they're at Rizda. Okay. That's so true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it was only Torn that I read that he's narrated.
That's so funny. Well, I'm still happy that I have Bound to the Battle God coming, because I'm like, I need to stop messing around and get some of these read.
That one's
I got to pre-order. I got to pre-order Full Moon Rising because it's so freaking pretty. I think I'm gonna pre-order it from the indie bookstore that she was talking about, because it comes with a signed book plate and like sticky.
That's how I got Bound to the Shadow Prince, and it came in a cute box with a candle and art prints, and it was signed. So I hope that comes with Full Moon Rising too.
I'm so excited.
So maybe you'll get your own kind of like PR box.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping, because I was like, okay, I'll definitely do that, because I know like Kennedy Ryan too is like one page. Like each author has, their indie bookstore that they're supporting, and when I do it that way, when I pre-order that way, I do like the extra art and the extra touch, and that it's signed, and it makes it special.
Mm-hmm.
Go there, go home.
Or what? What did I say? What did I say for that comment? I don't know what I said.
By a giant wormhole or the rip in the sky. Huh.
Yeah, no, you can't go. Yeah, you can't go back because it's like dangerous now. Like they think that, I think like all the other planets think that Earth is uninhabitable anymore and there's no more humans, but there are because there's a few camps.
She deleted it. I read the whole IPV series last year, but I skipped the novellas and the Ice Home books. So I want to reread the series and include those this time. Oh, that'll be fun.
The novellas can be really fun, actually. Like one of my favorite ones that has the ugliest cover in the entire world is Ice Ice Babies.
What was the book that you had where she was surprised that you had it at Book Bonanza?
King Spinster Bride OG.
The OG cover.
Yeah, this one. I'll get it.
Yeah, please. I would love to see because it's all pretty. Yeah, even Ruby was like, people would kill to have that book.
No, I guess so. This is the book I get the most DMs on because I have pictures of it on my Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And I've gotten over 5 people message me and go, "Are you selling that book? Can I?" I'm like, "No,
No,
no,
it's signed now.
no." So this is the one that people would kill for. So, and I know this is like a stock image lady on the cover because I've seen her in this beautiful dress on a few romance books before.
But that's that cover though.
And then she wrote in here, "This is so special."
Oh,
Yeah,
I love it.
So, but yeah, no, this one is like one of my favorite books of all time, and I want more. Like I want her to write more about these two so bad.
It was that book that got me really into alien wedding rituals.
Oh, so
that's the novella that did that for me. I was like, oh my god, I love this.
More. We need to figure out more that have the rituals.
Oh, who was it? Abel. Hold on. This series, because it was there, and then I moved on to what is he? He's a reptile. Rebecca.
Reptile.
Let me see.
Is it I Married a Lizard Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
I had fun wedding rituals that were like active. Yeah.
We need to read more in that series because
I do.
More in the series. I've read only book 1 and book 2. So, and there's like 12 books in that series by now, I swear.
We're gonna meet her next year.
That's what I'm saying. We need to read her books because we're gonna
read her books. Because the wedding rituals in this.
Oh, this is someone asked me what this book was. This is a book.
Yeah. King Spinster's Bride.
Okay.
Yeah, but the wedding rituals in this were just so much fun.
Mm-hmm. I do prefer that cover, so the other one. It's like one of those book covers that you're like, this book is good, but like, dang, that cover.
I know. But Ruby definitely led me down that ritual path. I was like, oh, I love this.
Yeah.
And like, there's all like prospects, and they're just trying to survive. But I guess it's like marriage rituals. This is good. Like that whole series. I need to finish it. I love it. So good.
Yep.
You have that one?
Oh, you have it? Yay! Twins. I don't know anyone else who has this one. Just know that you could probably sell this for a lot of money.
And I don't care what the cost is. I will send you some Ruby book plates because you got to start putting them in there. I have a lot. I could stand with not hoarding them.
It's because we just took a bunch because we had a few friends who weren't at the signing, and we were gonna we sent some to Bree and some other people, so we have a few left over.
And then at the end, when they were trying to get rid of stuff, they were like, "Take them." Yeah, so
I was crashed. I didn't stay till the end. Zay and I were like, "We're done."
That's what happened to me last, in Charleston. It was like I had all these plans, and I'm like, I'm tired. I was so exhausted.
We have to though. For Monster Erotica Con, we have to stay the whole time. Like, I don't want to miss out on anything. I feel like I missed out on stuff, and like authors staying after and like signing stuff, and like we need to stay the whole time. Now I know, like maybe I need to take a little break, go sit down for a little bit before it ends, but like I gotta stay.
Yeah, because I stayed to the end in Charleston and I was pooped. Like
Mhm.
I had like dinner plans I was gonna do, and I'm like, I can't do anything. I just want to stay in. Like I was really tired. So maybe like pacing it because we're gonna be in Florida near Disney World, and I'm planning on
Oh, we're
doing
going there too.
I'm planning on doing Disney before the signing, and then I wanted to have a
Oh, we're
Disney.
doing?
I want to do one.
Oh
'Cause
wait, aren't you doing a trip with your friends too or something?
Well, she lives out there, so I
Yeah.
was like, I definitely want a Disney day. What the signing is on a Saturday,
Yeah.
so I was like, Friday I'll be in town. Like we'll be in town. Like the
Yeah.
room block is Thursday to Sunday, so I'm like, we're gonna be in town. How do we not do a Disney day on Friday? But then
Yeah.
the signing is on Saturday, and then I want to do a Disney day on Sunday with my bestie, and I'm like, I'm gonna be tired. How am I doing this?
You're gonna do a Disney sandwich.
Yeah.
So are we doing Friday? We need to figure that out.
And let me stop forgetting I'm online. But yeah, that's
we're forgetting we're live.
yeah. And I'm like, and I might even come in like a day, like if I come in on Thursday, I'm like, I might stay at like Art of Animation and like squeeze a Thursday in there. I don't know. I'm just excited. And it's time to start planning because that's gonna be like
here before we know it. That's the first one in the year. First one next year. That's March. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. Oh yeah, Naomi Lucas to go to a book con so I can get her to sign my giant Horde of books. Yes.
Is she going to Monster Erotica Con? Let me look at the lineup.
Shut up.
I know Victoria Aveline is, just by the way. So you need to get.
I'm sending you play. I will get play. Well, we're gonna do this right now.
Here, let me look.
If she is, I will get plate signed for you. That would be crazy.
Where's the whole lineup list? Is there a whole lineup list?
I know I'm scrolling. So I'm basically scrolling through Monster Erotica Con's like Instagram looking to see. But I need a list too.
Let me look at the Facebook group.
Because if that is the case, I will definitely do that. So many authors. I'm so excited. And we will report back because I do like that it's smaller. I really do. I'm excited to meet Ashley Bennett. Like very excited to meet Ashley.
I swear there was like a list, but
you know. Well, I will look. Yeah, Vera Valentine. Her mind.
2025 authors. Let's see.
I gotta read Unhinged already because Vera Valentine's gonna be there.
Yes,
the door one.
Some of the vendors that are going make me cackle so hard. I've sent you some stuff of some of the vendors.
I know. They're definitely monstrous.
Yeah. We're gonna have fun.
I'm gonna have so much fun. I'm like, can I come back? Should I? I don't know if I want to be buying some of the stuff. I don't think you're allowed to have that in your suitcase because it goes off.
Does it?
Yeah.
Maybe we can have it shipped.
Yeah. That's
ship it.
They have monstrous, fun toys and stuff like that, and I'm like,
oh my gosh! I think they're also doing tattoos too.
Really?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, we don't know. We don't know. It hasn't been announced. We don't know. And this is book club, so we're gonna announce our next book club so we don't get in trouble.
Yeah. Oh yes, we need to do that.
So this is going to be our next book for book club, Space for Love by Emily Antoinette. We were very excited about book 2, which is Space for More, which is the FFM.
Yes.
So, but this is the first book in the series. It's got curvy heroine wrap, and we're very excited. It's going to be on a space station. And so I've been wanting to read it. And I thought this is perfect. We're going to be having the live show on Ava's channel. And yes, we're excited. So there's like 5 weeks in this month. So I'm happy that we're still able to keep it in here. It's like the second to last day of the month. So I hope we can join us. We have some time. This is also on Kindle Unlimited. And is there an audiobook for this?
I didn't see one.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I am really excited for this too because I think the last book Tiffany and I read at a space station, it was that Ursa Dax holiday one, and it was so good. We both loved that one.
It's so good.
I hope
Chimera for Christmas. Love that.
Mm-hmm.
It was so good. So I'm excited to be back on the space station too. And then, we can continue on with the series after that. Oh, yay. I'm so happy because I was like, oh, it's been on my TBR for a minute too. So I'm like, it's time to finally read this. I think I got it for free too on one. I don't think it was on.
I think it was
on Space for More.
I think it was Stuff Kindle Day.
Yeah, the second in the series I got this time around on Stuff My Kindle Day, and then I've gotten this previously, so I'm so excited. Oh yes, I'm excited too. It's gonna be good, so I'm excited.
Yeah, no, the girls could not be held up by that.
Right.
You and I know that's not being held up by some yarn. That looks like no.
Okay, talk about the clinch.
The clinch is good.
The clinch is good.
I love him. He reminds me what he looks like. He looks like Grace Draven's like Kai people from Radiance.
He does, because look at his fingers too.
His skin. Yeah.
And I think that's his thing, because of the way that he looks among his own kind. I think he was like exiled or ostracized. And so
he was part of the Fae.
Mm-hmm.
That's like part of the Fae. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I'm very excited to meet him. Apparently he's a big cinnamon roll. So we've gone from some alpha Horde Kings to a cinnamon roll space station force proximity. I'm intrigued and excited. And if you do have Kindle Unlimited, it will be on there. Mm-hmm. So I hope it's like accessible to everybody. So just let me know if you have any like issues with that, and I'll see if I can find it on my Libby or anything like that. Like if it actually is.
Well, let me see, because normally on Amazon, if it's listed as having an audiobook, then it has one or not.
Yeah, because I'm looking at it here and I don't see an audio for it. I do see there's a third in the series coming out next year, so that's promising because I definitely want to continue on after we read the first one.
Okay, so there's no audiobook. You can either get it on Kindle Unlimited as an ebook, and the ebook, if you don't have KU, is only $4.99, I think, and then the paperback is $15.
She's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet and spicy sci-fi romance. That's what we need. That's what we need.
I love it.
So I hope you can join us for the Spire Station series.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of the series. We're going to meet them and feel it out on the 30th. Oh my gosh, I love that wardrobe malfunction. And I hope you guys had fun reading the freaking Horde King series by Zoe Draven. If you are just popping in, you can start from the beginning. We talk about all of the books. We've definitely ranked them here. I had so much fun. I put this series off for so long, and I'm so happy that I read it, and we're ready for her newest release in that series. I can't wait. But thank you for joining us. We hope to see you on the 30th.
Yay!
Bye.
Bye.
Oh my God.